stage, we have a transient coming from the ECG. We got a device to deal with them. Over voltage, we got a device to deal with them. And the faulty current leaking that can give you electrical shock. Welcome back once again, TGH electrical engineer. I trust you're all living well wherever you find yourself at the four corners of the planet. I know you are making a gradual plans to make your dream to becoming reality in a lovely continent called Africa, especially Ghana as well, guys. Today we are in the site doing some of the installation for our lovely client in somewhere in Kumasi area, and then we are here with our AVL. So without AVL, what we are going to do is that we will put some of the device there. When the client get the AVL, and then we will come back and install the AVL too. But though the client is not putting anything in the building, because now we are working on the socket. All the socket is done, and most of the switches, the AC switches, the water heaters, all of them is done. So now we are coming to tackle the main design, which is the TPN, the changeover, the phases, and all the distribution board. We need to work in and make sure that things are working properly for the client. Only we didn't get an AVR, concerned about the AVR prices. We didn't get an AVR, but we still have in here. So as you can see, we have a very wonderful tools, everything to check. So once we are here, we need to do a live testing, which is a comprises about CPC testing, continuity testing, the priority testing. All of them you have to make sure that we do them before the final installation for the AVR. Though the AVR is not here, but trust me, we need to fix some of the devices that we got them here so that the client can enjoy the home for the temporary, because a lot of people must be coming to do their various works, and they may need lighting too. So once we got the meters for the 3-phase meter, we need to set everything, all the distribution board and everything, so that the client can use the light for temporary before the main AVL. If for me, my advice to the client is that now nothing is inside. The kitchen is empty, everywhere is empty. So by the time that he attempted to put every single thing in the main building, we must set up the AVL. So the only thing that we don't have now is the AVL, but the others are, we have the XPD, we have AFDD, and we have LCD. All of them is tight. Now we have to install them, but for now it's the temporary, but some of the distribution board we have to install it permanently. So this is how everything is looking like. This is everything. This is a TPN. We wire in, all the cable is tied. Now it is a TPN, which is the main incomer. So here, when anything is happening in the house, when you come here, you can turn it to the off and on at any time. It's a TPN. In Ghana here, we call it main incomer. This is where the main design will start. Here, there's a generator provision for the 3-phase, and then the gray provision for the 3-phase. And the here too is in future when you wanted to use the solar too, we got the cable in, everything is intact. And then when you see this is the main distribution board for the 220, because we have the 110 too. This is the main distribution board, and one of the best distribution board in Ghana, the 18 one. So the 18, this is a pretty good. Everything is good. By the time you finish, trust me, you are going to enjoy the installations. Installation with the right tools, everybody is going to enjoy it, because we have the right tools to do so. Now we got a 110 distribution board should be installed. So it's part of the work too, because here is 110 and 220. We have to make sure that we install all of them with the good tools, a good tools. And I will say this: how can you deal with the problem of having the right tools? You should have having the right tools before you can able to deal with the specific problems. So that is what the G8 is exactly doing right here. We have a specific tools to deal with a specific problem. Every single installations in the G8, we have to make sure that we have the right tools to deal with them, because I have invested on the tools because I know the kind of the client that I'm going to serve them. So when it comes to tools, do not play with me. I got every single tools right here to deal with every single installations. But when it because losing contact bring a fire outbreak in the various home. So once I know that, I'm going to make sure that I'm using the right tools, investing on the right tools, and then use the right tools. And this thing too, I will took it another opportunity to advise my colleagues that you should invest. You should invest on the right tools. Most of the house break or fire outbreak in our various houses is that the electrician didn't use the right tools to do the installations. Most of it, most of it. Let me say typically for let me say 35% of the house fire outbreak in our various home, the electrician did not use the right tools. If you use the right tools, you are not going to meet any kind of losing contact. Losing contact as a result of the losing contact in the electrical scenario, a break fire outbreak in our various homes. If it doesn't know, if you really read it very well, go to the Ghana web and read every year the fire outbreak in the various home in Ghana. You're going to see the numbers. The numbers are much significant. So if you are wanted to require an electrician, pick somebody who is more advanced, like a GH, because I'm being electrical engineer, so I know the kind of the tools that I should use for specific installations, so that I may not having a losing contact, and the time for rechecking that installation too is much important for us. All of them, we have listed all of them in our platform. A time to check the installations and the installation ongoing installation, the right tools you should use for ongoing installation. As you can see, the if it doesn't know the GH, myself, I was the one installing everything. As you can see me climbing the ladder, making sure that all the installation is done, it's done properly, and my guys are in my back making sure that they give me more support enough to make sure that all the right thing is done, because doing the installation like this, it giving us so much happy to do the installations for our lovely client, our lovely cherished client who really engage in our service in this lovely country. And let me say this, it took me a hardest way to learn it. The best thing you could do for yourself for now is to look for the right artisans in your property. The best thing you could do for yourself is to look for the right artisans in your property, because without having the right artisans, your property is at the risk. The reason why I'm saying this, because you don't know the kind of their strength, their professionalism, how they are related to their work every single day. And finding them in Ghana too, finding the right artisans in Ghana too is a bit difficult. So if you come across in my video, what are you waiting for? GH is waiting for every single Ghanaians to work for them, to bring the best for their home, to make sure that they are living in their dream houses. Dream houses. We wanted to make Ghana home again, one family at a time. Guy, this is the installation ongoing. You can see the 220. We got a lot of cable, and just see. Those who are here, welcome back to the family. Do not scroll it. Let me finish and see how the installation look like, and see how the installation is looking like. Maybe you have picked the electrician, and then you have wired your house, and the most of the things that I'm mentioning, you don't have it in your installations. Please, you are not 100% safe. You are not. You're not 100% safe, because here, even though everything is not We didn't get everything, but we have the XPD, which is a surge protected device. We have RCD, which is a residual carrying device. All of them we have it here. We also have another breaker that is going to serve us for the surge protected device or the transient. So if it doesn't have a device that is going to stop the transient, what are you worried about? So, guys, it's a late night, but still, GH is on board, making sure that we are working with our client and bring the best to them. So, as you can see, we have on our light. We see everything as an afternoon, making sure that we are doing the great work. Now we are come back with the main installations. You just wait for a little while and see what the GH is going to do. This one you can see it's a 220 distribution board, and beside me there is a 110 distribution board that we have closed it. As you can see it over there, and beside me there is a 110 distribution board. In your screen there is an arrow pointed to the 110 distribution board. So when I'm done with the 220, I'm coming to the 110 distribution board just to service. Though I was expecting the client to get the AVL, but there's no big deal because they are not in at this time. So by the time that they are ready to come to their lovely property, by that time, they must have in the AVL, and then we get them installed. So always, I say this, every single solution, there must be a problem. Listen to this very well. Every single solutions, there must be a problems. So that is why sometimes when you take somebody to the hospital on the first time, the doctor will tell that the person need a surgery, and then the doctor will conduct all the surgery that the person needs, but you still will lose that person, right? So every single solution, there must be a problem around it. So the GH, what I came about, I learned this in the hardest way. So the best thing that I could do is that even when I'm doing these installations, I have to make sure that I deal with the problems first before the solutions. Because as I told you, I give you one scenario. Everybody have took somebody to the hospital before, and then the person need a surgery, and then the doctor will say, okay, the person need emergency surgery, and all the surgery that they will be doing, all the surgery that they will conduct, you will lose the person up. So that means that every single solution, there is a problems. So if you don't live with the visionary guy, you don't know all these things. You will go to the beautiful house, and then they pay bills more than what they're supposed to pay it. Maybe they think that it's normal, but trust me, it's not normal. Looking at their consumption of the bills and everything, it doesn't mean that it's normal at all. That is what the GH wanted to avoid, those things. When it comes to our client, we wanted to avoid all those things to make sure that we take our soil resistivity, all the tests have been done, all the bonding in the property have been done. We know that we are in the potential zone. All the places are very potential zone. And after that, we have a machine that when we finish the installations, we're going to test the socket and make sure the socket is correct. All of them, we will conduct all of them and make sure that the house is good to go. If we find a single issues, we will tell the client to hold on for us, to diagnose all the fault and make sure that we take everything out. So when we know that the ECG is bringing us the sage, we have a transient coming from the ECG. We got a device to deal with them. Over voltage, we got a device to deal with them. And the faulty current leaking that can give you electrical shock, we have a device dealing with them. All those things, we put them in the measures. So looking at our installation, as you can see on the a bit down here that we are going to mount the AVL, you can see we put some of the device there. That is pretty nice. And you can see all the distribution board, how we wired everything. Trust me, that is why GH is one of the best. I will not say one of the best. And I always say this, you should be the best of what you do, not the biggest of what you do. Because be the best will elevate you to becoming the biggest. So you can see the distribution board. Let me show it to you. You can see what we have in the distribution board exactly that shows more professionalism. When you're looking at the distribution board, the finishing of the distribution board, it shows more brilliant, more professionalism. It means that we are dealing with the right tools. That was GH. That was GH. You have in there the XPD have been installed, the LCD have been installed for residual carrying device to protect you from the electric shock. Every single, because residual carrying device, it simply means that to protect you for human and animal safety. It protects human and animal safety. So when we get them installed, it means that you are safe. You can see distribution board, everything is tight. Show more professionalism, all the earthing system, everything. It show much brilliant. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Yeah, how do you look like? How this look like? You can see you cannot take GH out of the installations. We deal with the right tools, deal with the right work. Happy days. Now, guys, almost done. So we tested everything. Everything is working perfectly. All the changeover, everything is working perfectly. Guys, as usual, you just like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that we always be aware when GH uploading the new video, you not miss out. Guys, I will see you next time. Guys, yeah, share.